Hey everybody, Tom from PC Gamer here talking with Matt, developer of Savage, the Shard of Gosen. Can you tell me a little bit about the game?
It's an action-adventure 2D platformer with a story that's kind of like Robert E. Howard's Conan the Barbarian, a lot of those old pulpy stuff and 80s barbarian flicks. And it's got a sprinkling of RPG elements, lots of armor to find, lots of weapons, lots of shields to master. You can level up in the game. There's a pseudo 3D overworld map that's kind of like a Mode 7 sort of thing. And when you enter a town or a dungeon or a village or something, it goes back into the 2D action-adventure stuff.
You mentioned Conan, and it definitely has that sort of a little bit over-the-top vibe to it.
Yeah, it's got some bravado in there. Muscles and flesh and steel, all that stuff.
Can you tell me about some of also the gameplay inspirations that you had for it?
Zelda 2 was a big one. I really wanted to try to experiment with those little tension and release moments that Zelda 2 had. Positioning your shield just right and landing a blow felt really good in that game. And obviously there were some shortcomings there, and people think of it as like the black sheep of the Zelda family, but there was a lot of really interesting stuff in there that I kind of wanted to update, I guess, and put a big muscly barbarian spin on it.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot more and more like spiritual successor kind of games, but Zelda 2 is not one of the ones I would have expected someone to go after.
No, and there are here and there in nooks and crannies and stuff, but Zelda 2 and Demon's Crest, I like both of those games for their transition to big open spaces that kind of make the game world feel bigger than it actually is. I mean, you look at Savage and it's got a 3D overworld map, and it's kind of just like a glorified level selection screen, but it makes it feel alive and full of life, and the game has a seasonal system in it as well, so the game world will change based on whether it's like winter or summer or fall. Different enemies will come out at night than in the day, and like winter will affect things like that and fall will affect things like that. So I just wanted to visually kind of hammer home the vastness of a brutal epic fantasy adventure.
And you mentioned those RPG elements. I was interested when I was playing to find things like your weapons level up as you use them and that sort of stuff, and you can actually improve specific stats as well.
Yeah, each weapon, shield, and piece of armor in the game has its own separate experience pool, and they can all be leveled up to a maximum of 3. And once you hit that 3rd level, that item is considered mastered, and you unlock a perk or an ability or a permanent stat boost. So like if you level up a certain shield in the game, it might grant all of your other shields like a big knockback bonus or something.
Cool, and when can people expect to get their hands on Savage?
I'm hoping by the end of the year. I'm working on the whole thing by myself. I'm doing code, music, art, programming and stuff. And I'm trying to get it out by the end of the year, but it's probably going to be $9.99 on Steam right now. So.
Well, thanks very much for telling us about the game.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming and checking it out.